Okay, so come to lie down on the floor and bring your arms down by your side and have your feet flexed. And just come to rest. Feel your body lengthening and imagining the space in between your vertebrae is lengthening. And then inhale, bring the arms up overhead. And exhale, bring the arms down by your side. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. And exhale, bring them down. Inhale up. And exhale down. And just go a few more times at your own pace. And let the breath be nice and long and fluid. And now just keep the arms up here. And if they don't reach the floor, that's fine. Just let them be where they are. And just breathe deeply with your arms up over your head as you're lying down on the floor. Now, we're recording this, so if anybody's in a chair, and this is really good thing to do too. You can do this. You can adapt yoga. Yoga is for everybody. So we want to make it accessible for everyone. And then inhale and then exhale. Bring the arms down and just pause and notice just how your body feels before we move on. And now while you're still lying, bend your knees. And bring the hands around your, the outer aspect of your calves. And as you do that, inhale, bring the knees in, like you're squeezing all the breath out, and exhale, let the knees go. Inhale, bring them in. And I'm just sitting up because I'm not sure if you can see me if I lie down. Inhale in, and exhale, let them go. And feel your lower back making contact with the earth. And just go like that a few more times at your own pace. This is great for the lower back. And just a very relaxing thing to do. And then hold them in, stay there, and just make some circles with the knees up in the air. Just circle around one way, and then circle around the other way. And then bring the feet to the floor. Turn to whatever side feels right for you. Pause there for a second, and then use your hands to come up. And then come to stand. So we're going to come into mountain pose. So the feet are hip distance apart. The arms are down by your side. You're externally opening up, external rotation in the shoulders to allow the lungs to expand. And just feel that mountain pose. So the feet are pressed into the floor, the legs are engaged. Feel the groundedness, and then feel the lightness of the head as it reaches up into the heavens. So just close the eyes for a second, and we're just going to do a quick meditation. Breathing in, I am the mountain. Breathing out, I am strong. Breathing in, I am the mountain. Breathing out, I am grounded. Breathing in, I am the mountain. Breathing out, I am strong. And then bring the hands by your side. And we're going to do some nice circular motions, bringing the arms up. And then exhale, bend the knees and come forward, sweeping the hands down to the floor. Inhale, come on up. And exhale, bring the arms out as you bend the knees and hinge from the hips to come down, as opposed to rounding from the back. Hinge from the hips. Keep your shoulder blades on your back just so as not to round too much. Inhale up and exhale down. And again, now go a few more times at your own pace. Long breath in. Slow breath out. Let the head drop when you come down to look at the floor. Inhale, bring the arms up. And one more time, bending the knees, hips back. And then come on up and bring your hands in prayer in front of your heart. Now, if you have a block, and I have one here, it's nice to have two. If you don't have any, it's not a big deal, but I like to put it between the thighs, and then the feet are hip distance apart. And if you have a block, you can put it between the feet to just get the feedback of the block. Okay, so from here now we're going to go into chair pose. So open the arms out to the side, the palms are facing up. Come into all of the elements of mountain pose. That's the foundational pose for every other yoga pose that we do. Get nice and long, ground down, lift up, inhale, and on the exhale, bend the knees and bring the hips back. Let the hips sink to the degree that feels right for you. Look down at your toes, and you should see your toes. So if your knees are going past them, just bring them back and see if you can bring most of your weight onto your heels. Pull up, engage the pelvic floor and the core, the navel back to the spine, and breathe here. So chair pose is really great for relieving any edema in the legs. It's a very energizing pose. So now we're going to make it a little dynamic. Make sure that you're not overarching your lower back too. So just want to have a bit of a neutral spine. Now we're going to inhale, bring the arms up as you straighten the legs, and exhale, come back into that pose. Inhale, bring the arms up, and exhale, come back into chair. Inhale, up. And you can look to where the ceiling and the wall meet. That's usually a good place to fix the eyes when you're coming up. That way your head won't go back too far. You don't want too much overextension in your neck. Keep going. Really great for the calves. Very, very strengthening, great strengthening pose. And now come back to your chair, to the way we started out. You can bring your hands into goalpost. You can bring the back of your palms to your sacrum. And again, lift the pelvic floor, engage the abdomen. Don't overarch, because that will let the pelvis and the abdomen have a tendency to not be engaged. So keep the hands here, pull everything in, not overly. It's all about balance. And then if you want to, you can interlace your fingers behind your back and straighten out your arms like this. Squeezing the block, getting that feedback from it, opening across the chest. Take some really nice, good breaths in here. And if that doesn't work at all, just keep your hands on your hips. This is wonderful. And then inhale, come on up. And exhale, pause. Just put your hands on your heart, close your eyes, and notice how this feels. Okay, now we're going to come back down to the floor on the knees, hands and knees. So you're going to come into a tabletop position. So I'm just going to come this way so you can see me, and then I'll turn around. So you're going to inhale, so the hands are underneath the shoulders, the knees are underneath the hips. And let's just make a few circles here just to work out any kinks. And then go the other way. And then come back to center. And inhale, arch your back and look up. Again, don't look up too high. And then exhale, bring the hips back to the heels and let the elbows come to the floor and the forehead come to the floor if you can. Inhale, come up, come into the cow pose. And then exhale, come on back, elbows down, hips down to the heels, forehead down. And then go at your own pace right now. And again, just being really careful not to overextend the neck. And one more time each way. And back down. And then just stay here for a few breaths. Make a pillow for your hands and then place your forehead on top of the hands. And now peel yourself up off the floor, and we're going to stay kneeling. So if you have furniture nearby, use it. It's great. And if you don't, then you'll practice some balance as you bring that right foot forward, and you'll bring the knee to be right on top of the ankle. At first, just press your hands onto the thigh and push that thigh away as your spine gets a little bit longer. And now you can let the pelvis go forward a little bit. You'll feel that stretch in the iliacus and the psoas on the left side. And now bring the arms out into the goalpost shape. So this, again, I'm focusing a lot on the lungs and the breath and opening up the poses and taking breaths in to promote respiratory health. So now inhale, bring the arms up. And again, you can look to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Exhale down. Retract or bring back the shoulder blades together. Inhale up and gently bring back the shoulder blades together. So it's not a sharp movement. Inhale up, but it's engaged. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, come back to the goalpost. Stay here for a breath or two. Feel that long line of that breath, that dual corridor breath. As you inhale, it goes down. As you exhale, it goes out. Inhale. Exhale, hands on the thigh, and then switch out the legs. Actually, before you even do that, just make some circles. It's always nice and a good thing to release any residual tension. Okay, again, I have my furniture here. I'm going to use it. Bring that left foot forward. And if you need padding for the knee that's on the floor, you can put a pillow if you don't have a mat, or just double your mat, and that will help with your knee. So again, these yoga poses, if anything doesn't feel right, please come out of it. You're the expert in your body, not me. So you know what's best for you. And that's a real true yoga practice. Now both hands are on the left thigh, and just press that left thigh away, keeping the pelvis in alignment, in a neutral alignment. Lengthening through the spine. Inhaling and exhaling now, you can let the pelvis move forward, but contain the abdomen. Don't have some control over the abdomen and the pelvic floor. Bring the arms down and then bring them up. Nice long breaths. So again, this is great for the front part of the thigh that's being stretched, the quadriceps. And now we're going to make it dynamic and get our lungs even wider. So you inhale to reach, exhale, bring the arms down. Inhale to reach, and exhale, bring the arms down. Inhale, and exhale, and go at your own pace now. So don't shrug the shoulders, make sure the shoulders are relaxed. So you want to have effort without tension and relaxation without dullness. And then hold it back here in the goalpost or Sphinx position and breathe. And you can look straight ahead, or you can bring the gaze down. Just don't let the head and neck come out of alignment. And then inhale and exhale. Now come back to kneel again. Pause for a second. Notice the prana, your life force moving, and then take it out. Do some hip circles, and then do the other way. Shake out the hands. Give the wrist a little love, a little shake, and a little massage in there. We are all on our computers like crazy and texting, and just we're going to overuse these muscles, so we really have to show these parts of our body some love. And you can just stretch out your fingers too. Just give them a nice stretch and take care of them as we move through these days together. Okay, so now come down to lie on the abdomen, on your belly, with your forehead to the floor. And bring your hands alongside your chest. And keep your forehead on the floor. And just from here, just think about lengthening out. Don't come up, I'm just doing that. I'm not sure if you can see me. Just lengthen out from the tailbone out through the feet. And then think about lengthening out from the tailbone out through the crown of the head. You're visualizing that you're getting taller. And that is really important, subtle body work, to actually visualize that you're making space. So now with the hands close to the chest and at the same level as the chest, lift the chin and the head and a slight lift to the shoulders, and lift your left leg just 2-3 inches off the floor. Lengthen out, keep breathing. And if this hurts your back, come out of it or come down lower. That can often help to come down, bring the head and neck and chest down lower. And then inhale, bring the left leg down, forehead down, pause. And now inhale, chin, nose, forehead, slight lift in the chest, and lift your right leg up. And for me, I can feel that I have a tendency to come up too high, and then I feel that in my lumbar spine, so I come down with my chest a little bit more. The hands, you're really not pressing too hard into the hands. They're just there mainly for support. Right leg is straight and out. Inhale and come on down. Take a nice deep breath. We'll do that again on both sides. Inhale, chin, nose, chest, left leg up. And you can just really look straight down or just like a few inches in front of you. Think about lengthening out through the left toes. Inhale and come on down. Lift the chin, head and chest. Right leg follows up. Long line of breath. Inhale and exhale, come down. So make a pillow for your head again with your hands. Bend the knees and just windshield wiper back and forth. You can make circles with your ankles. And then come on down with the legs. Okay, so hands come back, same position. Forehead on the floor, hands right alongside your chest. Elbows going back. Inhale, chin, nose, head comes up, and now bring both legs up. So this is a hybrid of two poses, locust and baby cobra. So lengthen out from the tailbone to the feet and the tailbone through the top of the head. Visualize your spine lengthening. Really visualize making space. Inhale, exhale, come on down. Pause for a second. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale, chin, nose, chest, both legs up. And the shoulders are away from the floor and going back down. They're not hunched up, they're going back. So the shoulders are away from the floor And the shoulder blades are going down the back. Inhale and exhale. Come down and turn your head one way. Bend your knees. That's a really great strengthening exercise for the back. When we are doing all this work that we're doing on computers, the back gets really rounded. So it just helps to open up all the muscles in the back, strengthening the trapezius and all of those long muscles and ligaments and tendons. Okay. So now come to lie on your back. Actually, come up first. Come into a child's pose first, because that can really cause a little residual something in your lower back. So just give a nice stretch out. And then come to tabletop, and then come to lie on your back. And again, if you have a block, great, we'll use it. And if not, not to worry. So have the feet hip distance apart. And right now I'm going to put the block in between the thighs. Bring your feet, just don't stress too much. Just bring your feet back as close as you can without any feelings of pain or any sensation in the knees. Just keep it simple. So from here, we'll do a few pelvic tilts. So keeping the buttocks on the floor, arch your lower back, and you'll notice there's a big space there. And then exhale, flatten your lower back to the floor. So when we inhale and the pelvis is in this position, this is called an anterior pelvic tilt. And then when we press the lower back into the floor, it's a posterior pelvic tilt. So you inhale, the pubic bone goes down, the tailbone goes back, and then the opposite happens in the pelvic tilt. So a few more in the posterior pelvic tilt. Go back and forth a few times just to warm up the pelvis. And then the next time that your lower back is pressing into the floor, stay there. Press into your feet and lift the hips up off the floor, and then the belly and the ribs, and see where your chest would like to go. If you haven't done this before, just take it easy. Don't worry about coming up too high. And now tuck one shoulder blade under, and then tuck the other shoulder blade under. Bring your elbows to the floor. Press your elbows into the floor, and your fingers are pointed upward. And just hold this. This is a bridge pose. So this is a good time to ask ourselves, how are we bridging with other people? How are we bridging with our family members? And how can we bridge with ourselves to bridge the mind, body, spirit together? Such a beautiful way to look at this pose. Inhale and exhale, come on down. Bring the sitting bones down first and just pause. Integrate what you just did. Let the body have a chance to really pull that in and feel what you did. Okay, so we're going to do that again, but this time it's going to be a little different. We're going to make it a little bit more dynamic. So this time, bring the arms down by your side, so the elbows are not in the floor. They're just alongside the torso. Press the feet into the floor. Lift, come into that posterior pelvic tilt where your back is pressing into the floor. Lift your buttocks and your torso and the ribs. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. And if they reach the floor, that's fine. And if they don't, that's fine. Exhale, bring the arms and the buttocks down. And go like that at your own pace. And then the next time you come up, see if you can time the rising of the hips and the landing of the arms behind you at the same time. And then as you go down, can you time the lowering of the hips and the lowering of the arms? And now again, can you time those two things with your breath? And on the exhale, can the arms and the hips all be in sync with each other? And one more time like that, each way. It's a great technique to help keep the mind very, very mindful. And you can't really think about anything else because you have to think, oh, I'm doing one more. Sorry, I lied. And then come back down. Good. Put your hands on your abdomen and just rest. You can let go of a block. Bring the knees together and widen the legs. This is really good for the sacrum. And you can just move the legs back and forth a little bit. Okay, now I'm just going to move over here because I don't have enough room, I don't think. But anyway, so come to lie on your back. Knees are bent. Lift your hips and just bring them over to the right a little bit. Your knees are bent as you bring them over to the left. You can take your left hand on top of the right thigh and open up your right arm. This is a really yummy stretch. You can look straight up, or if you want to, you can look over your right shoulder. But sometimes that causes some tension in the neck. So if you want to just look straight up, it's wonderful to just look straight up. So only look over to your right if you have no neck tension. So this is a twist, and twists are great for elimination. They're great for digestion, and they're great for removing toxins from the body. And come back up now. Bring the right knee in first. You can take a hold of it with your right hand, and then follow with the left knee. It's always safer for your back to come up with one knee first and then following with the other. Make some circles, move them in and out, and then bring the feet to the floor, and then you'll have to come back to center again because you have to recalibrate. Now inhale and exhale, bring the hips over to the left, and then take the knees over to the right. You can bring your right hand on top of the outer aspect of the left thigh, and then open up your left arm out to the side. So we're getting this beautiful stretch. And on this side, the left lung is, visualize your left lung filling up with healing oxygen and nutrients. So again, this is a twist, and this is really great for elimination. And just in terms of elimination and nutrition, try to eat an extra serving of greens every day, fresh greens, beet greens. You can buy fresh beets, they're great. You can cook the beets. I cook them at 400. I roast them in a toaster oven. I wrap them up in Reynolds wrap. And then the beet greens, I throw away the red stalk, and the beet greens, wash them well. And then I just chop them up. I dry them and chop them up and saute them, and they are so good. Dark greens are very, very good for our lungs and our circulatory system. So you get two for the price of one. With the beets, you get beets and the greens. Now take that left knee and just guide it into the chest. Let the right knee follow. Oh, that feels good. Oh. And then just make whatever movements that your body wants to make right now. You want to come into happy baby. That's a nice thing to do. You bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet up to the floor. If your hands don't reach the soles, just bring them to the calf. No biggie. No biggie smalls. And then bend the knees, bring the feet to the floor, and then stretch out the legs and just prepare yourself for your Shavasana. You can have a pillow for your head if you want a pillow for underneath your knees. And if you want a blanket to put on top of you, this is cozy time. And this is the time that you allow your body to integrate and experience the fruits of your labor, the fruits of your yoga practice. So taking a deep breath in, exhale fully. Let your front body melt into the back body, and let your back body melt into the floor. Imagine that you are just like an ice cube in a beautiful, warm water, which inside a beautiful mug, that you're melting in this beautiful mug with warm water. And you can feel every particle in your body just sort of moving out. You can feel the spreading out, not to be so tightly contained, because we need to feel less anxious. This is a wonderful visual to have, to just feel like you are gently spreading out. It's a wonderful visualization for anxiety. So you're going to be here for about 5 minutes. So enjoy this peaceful time. Let your next exhale be very, very long. And your next inhale, very, very deep. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Make any movements that your body needs to wake up. And then bend your knees and come to lie on your side and stay there in that fetal position just for a few breaths. And while you're in that pose, just ask yourself, what's one thing that you love about yourself? And then use your hands to come up and sit. Sit any way that feels comfortable for you. And I'm just going to read a little quote about energy and meditation. The worshiper of energy is too physically energetic to see that he cannot explore certain fields or higher fields until he is still. Since I have been teaching meditation, many people have said to me, I can't meditate. I have too much energy. Energy can be our ally. It gives us the vitality we need to accomplish, to excel. And yet, if we can't tame our energy enough to allow ourselves to sit still and just be, then that energy can be counterproductive. Yes, energy is good, and we can make much better use of it when we spend some time in silence. So bringing the hands in prayer, we'll do a call and response. I'll say a line and then you can say it out loud. May we have a peaceful mind, an easeful body, and a useful life. Namaste. And thank you all so much for your practice today. Stay well. Thank you.